Republican and Democratic state leaders are sharing very different perspectives on how Alligator Alcatraz is being run. And it comes as the Tampa Bay Times reports that hundreds of immigrants have ended up at the site with no criminal charges in the United States. 8 on Your Side investigative reporter Brittany Muller joins us now in studio with more. Brittany.
Josh, good evening. Democratic Congress members claim the detainees at Alligator Alcatraz are crammed into cages, getting their drinking water and brushing their teeth from the same place where they go to the bathroom. But Republican leaders say the state has gone above and beyond what's required of them. Same tour, different outlooks.
We went there, we got a tour of the intake areas, the medical tent, the mess hall, recreation, the sleeping quarters. Heck, I even laid down in one of the beds, and it was well run, well done by emergency services.
Republican Representative Michael Owen says he's impressed with Alligator Alcatraz, while Democratic Representative Maxwell Frost says every Floridian should be ashamed that taxpayer money is being used to fund what he calls an internment camp. They say they saw about 900 detainees inside, but did not get to speak to any.
What we saw in there is very simple. We saw humans being held in cages, 32 people per cage, 3 toilets in each cage for these 32 people, and their drinking water comes from the toilet. People are on the toilet, you can't drink water.
It comes after 5 state lawmakers were turned away after an unannounced visit and sued Governor DeSantis. The governor's office described the suit as dumb and frivolous.
You don't get to just show up with a bunch of protesters and break down a fence and break into a federal facility. That's never been allowed, and I'm not going to allow it on my watch.
One day after Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was in Tampa touting the new model that will be used moving forward, NBC's Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker pressed her on the conditions that have been described as inhumane.
More than 30 people stuffed into a jail cell? They have a contrast. Well, I've been there, and I've seen these rooms that they are in. I wouldn't call them jail cells. I would call them a facility where they are held and that are secure facilities, but are held to the highest levels of what the federal government requires for detention facilities.
Democrats have called them cages, though. They say
I wish they would have said that back during the Biden administration and back when Democrats were in the White House and they were piling people on top of each other on cement floors and literally didn't have 2 feet to move.
Secretary Noem says since President Donald Trump has returned to office, there have been over 286,000 illegal immigrants who have been arrested, adding 70% of those individuals have either been convicted or have charges pending against them.
And Brittany, I know the Trump administration really wants to hold Alligator Alcatraz up as a model for the rest of the country. Tell me more about that.
Yes, Stacey. Secretary Noem says that she's already in talks with 5 Republican governors about using Alligator Alcatraz as a model on how those states can partner with the Trump administration. Noem says ultimately the goal is to double the capacity of ICE beds and make expedited deportation. So we'll continue to see how this unfolds.
Okay, thanks so much for that. If you have something you want Brittany to investigate, you can call that number right there on your screen. It's 1-800-338-0808.